start this? I don't even know. Hey guys, what's going on? It's ohnepixel here, and today we will be looking at the most iconic skins in CSGO. This will be a two-part series. You will see the other part coming next week. What skins will we be featuring in this kind of episode? We will be featuring skins that have either a history that everybody knows or skins that play a big role in the CSGO community. So, first one in the line, we got a StatTrak Karambit Kelsant. You might have seen it already, pattern 269. This is the HIKO pattern, and to be exact, this one is the knife that HIKO used to play with. It's the real HIKO knife. If you look at the history on CSGO Exchange, you can see HIKO used to own it, and everybody refers to this knife as the HIKO pattern, as the HIKO knife. I will be putting prices onto, or I will try to put prices on all of these skins that I'm featuring. I might have to leave out one or two skins where nobody could tell the price, but if there's any hint of a price, I will tell you the price. So starting off with this one, we can put a price tag on this one. We know that the minimal wear version of this knife sells for 15,000 USD. So this one being StatTrak minimal wear with all its history, I see this one at around 45,000 USD, maybe up to 55,000 USD, around that level. But obviously this knife is currently being owned by a collector that probably has as much money as, well, he wouldn't care to sell his knife. So let's put it this way. So you won't see this one for sale ever again. Moving on, we got this knife. Looks like a normal Karambit right now, but if you inspect it, you see that it doesn't have a star. And if you compare it to a normal Karambit vanilla, you see that it has a star. Every other knife has a star, but this one doesn't. And also, if you look at the float of this knife, it has a float of 0. Every vanilla knife, so including Karambit vanillas, they have a float range as well as every other knife. This one having the float range of the 0, it's a 1 of 1. It hasn't dropped in a normal way. This skin has a lot of history to it. The story that I personally heard was that someone got a Karambit vanilla scammed, contacted the Steam support, and then they sent him this knife as kind of a refund. They took the Karambit vanilla off the scammer, and then they gave the person scammed this knife. This knife is tradable, and putting a price tag on it, I found this thread on Reddit from 4 years ago. That's the last time that it sold, and it was up for sale for 1,500 keys. That equals around 3,000 USD. But this knife, after 4 years, I would see it at a lot more. With all of its history, it's probably the most unique item in CSGO history. And right now I would put this Karambit with all of the new Chinese collectors probably having interest in it. I would put this knife at around 6,000 to 10,000 USD, somewhere in that range. So, moving on to the next skin, we got this one. It's a pretty boring skin, probably the most boring skin in my list, but we have to feature it. It's the #1 lowest float skin out of every knife, out of every skin. The #1 float skin in CSGO. It's a M249 Gator Mesh. Looks pretty dope. And to put a price tag on this one, I don't really want to put a price tag on it. It's sold once to a collector and it will never be on the market again. So I can't really put a price tag on this one. There's not really anything you can backtrack regarding its price. So yeah, but it definitely deserves a spot on this list. So next up in this list, we got a Souvenir Scout Detour. And this one is the infamous Olaf Boostmeister Scout. I don't really have to tell you the story on this one, everybody knows about it. Let's inspect it real fast. This one is the factory new version, the cleanest one out there. And putting a price tag on this one, I found a post on Reddit where it was up for sale for 800 keys, which is around $1,600. So right now, this was 1 year ago, I would see it at a little bit more, at around $1,800 to $2,000, around that level. moving on, we got the most expensive skin in CSGO, which is this knife. Karambit case hardened, factory new, pattern index 387, which is of course the #1 pattern. And yeah, I think everybody heard about it. This knife sold for 100,000 USD in skins, not in cash, in skins. And to put a price tag in cash on this one, I might even see it at around 100,000 USD. Because I looked at the other versions that sold recently. There was a well-worn version that sold for 12,000 USD recently. Then there was a field-tested version which sold for 25,000 USD cash. So this one being factory new, I might see it at around 80,000 to 100,000 USD. Obviously there's not really a market for it. From the top of my head I could think of 2 persons at max that are wealthy enough to buy this knife in the community currently. But I don't see this knife moving owners in the near future at all. So the last skin for today is this AK. It's also a blue gem skin. It is a Statrek AK case hardened 661 pattern, also known as the Scar pattern, which is obviously the #1 pattern. Let's inspect it. It has 4 Titan hollows on it. It's the lowest float Statrek AK case hardened 661 pattern. And this skin sold for cash. It sold for 59,000 USD in cash. And the sad thing about this skin, it actually just got VAC banned recently. This Chinese collector who purchased this skin for 59,000 USD got VAC banned because he lent his accounts to friends. And one of his friends seemed to have cheated on one of the accounts. So all of the connected accounts with his phone number got banned, including skins which are totaling at around 700,000 USD. I might do a video on that one as well. All of the Chinese collectors being banned recently. There have been a lot of bans happening in the Chinese community. So yeah, if you want to see a video on that, please let me know in the comments. You can also check out my Twitter. It's at ohnepixel, just like this name here on YouTube. I'm posting daily on Twitter, so make sure to follow that. So yeah, if you enjoy CSGO trading content, CSGO skin content, maybe consider to subscribe. I will be active on YouTube, trying to put out videos each week. So yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, I told you it's a 2-part series. Next week I will be showing you some more skins that are really iconic. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you didn't, maybe tell me in the comments why. If you got any recommendations what I could do better, please let me know. And yeah, have a good one. Yes, I know I have to do something about that. I'm sorry.